Hello and welcome to PPC Live, the podcast. My name is Anu, your host. I'm the founder of PPC Live. And if you're used to hearing from PPC experts about how to ensure that we're keeping up with the ever-changing landscape, then you have found yourself in the right place. Every week, I speak to a different PPC expert about the big F up they have made in their career, but also how they turn things around. We never leave things on a defeated note. And today, I have the pleasure of speaking to a longtime PPC supporter, as well as one of our amazing authors on the blog, Veronica Holler. And she's just so amazing, so giving of her time and her expertise, and has even written a book. So stick around to the end to learn more about that. But yeah, today she brings us two mistakes, one that she found when she joined a new company, but also one that she made earlier in her career that really points to the message of recommendations. When Google give recommendations, what should you do? Yes, some people might go, yeah, all yes or all no into these things, but it's not about going in with the extremes. It's about approaching it with a wise mind and a mind that understands what's best for your client and what Google really is after. So yeah, let's go chat to Veronica. Hello, Veronica. Welcome to PPC Live, the podcast.
Hello, Anu. Thank you for your invitation.
I am so glad. Again, people now know this. Like maybe in the last few days, I literally did the whole frantic, hey, who's available to share a mistake? And Veronica, was the brave one to answer my call. So yeah, this is not something that has been prepped for months. We've not decided to, do any PR. Let's say this, let's not say this. She's gonna give you the full story of a mistake, that real mistake that happened in her career. But before we get into that, let me introduce you to this fantastic guest that we have with us today. Veronica Holler is she's the head of demand generation at Tresorit and a digital marketing strategist with over 17 years of experience in PPC, SEO, and growth across highly regulated industries. So all those kind of places where the ads, you have to say the right thing and you cannot just leave it to the automation to put your ads in however way you want. She's worked with those industries. She writes for PPC Live and so you would have seen her name. She's been an author of several of her blogs and the articles, so go check her out. She's given some really great advice in there, and other platforms as well. And she focuses on how AI, privacy, and changing search behavior is reshaping the performance marketing industry. As an international conference speaker as well, she actually is just coming off speaking at Brighton SEO that happened last week. But yeah, she also helps marketers rethink their metrics, their tech stack, and mindset in a world where both users and algorithms keep evolving. So many things evolving, so many people that we need, like Veronica, to ensure that we're keeping up and doing things in the right way. Um, and yeah, Veronica, I'll pass it on to you now. Tell us your fun fact. This is such a funny one, and for someone with her personality, the fact that she's this as well, it just baffles me. So yeah, Veronica, what's your fun fact?
My fun fact is I'm married, I have 2 kids, and I'm a crazy cat mom from 9 cats.
9 cats, guys. 9 cats. Like, yes, I'm the single crazy cat lady at the age of 41, and I only have one. Mine is just one. One is all I can handle. And how do you manage with all the smells? That's just for me the biggest question. And I'm like,
Oh, this goes. So yes, you have to clean up a little bit more, and yeah, but it works. So
it worked. Are they all like indoor cats as well? Or some of them they're outdoors and they just come in at night?
no, they are in-house because I have this unperfect cats. The one has an heart problem, the other one
Mm.
has something on the leg. So I take all this nobody wants to
Oh, the
have.
damaged, unloved cats. You go and love them. Oh, you're doing a good deed. You're a very good person. Oh, bless you.
Yes.
So they need attention and they cannot just be hanging out outside all the time.
Yeah, it's yeah. So a few
Oh,
of them are healthy, but yes, if I can't take the other one out, then I can't take the others out. So they
yeah.
are all here in the house, and they are happy.
They're happy. Good. Well, they sound very well loved, so they better be happy. They, like why not? Anyway. So yeah, so for you cat lovers out there, yeah, Veronica is your person, and you want any tips on how to take care of
Yeah,
cats that have issues, especially let her know. Let her know.
special needs,
The
yes.
special need cats. Oh, bless them, those ones. But yeah, y'all are going to say, yeah, I knew enough with your cat stories. We want to hear about the mistakes and the real stories that's happening behind all the wins. People are always sharing wins on LinkedIn. Yeah, I just got this new job. Yeah, we just won this new client. Yay, we just hit the revenue target. We want to hear the stories about when things go wrong, when revenue is not being hit, and that's something Veronica is going to specifically share about today, about how everything seemed to go right until it didn't. So yeah, Veronica, what is the F up you want to share with us today?
Yes, I want to share a problem I faced one time. And it was everything seems to be perfect. So I've taken a look in the accounts and the structure was perfect, the creatives was good, the ads was, from my opinion, I thought it was good ads.
Mm,
We have the great budget, so everything seemed to look right. We have impressions, we have clicks, we had conversion. So it looks from the outside, you thought, oh, it's a great, good account. And the tracking was also there. So not any issues there, but we don't generate revenue. So it was less revenue for these good working campaigns.
mm.
So this was a really strange thing. So I didn't know why.
Okay. All right. So you didn't know why the campaigns were all set up, revenue was not being hit. How long did you give it for you to start realizing something is wrong here?
2 months.
Wow. Okay.
As I started, it was 2 months. So I was thinking about, okay, you're new,
Okay.
you
Okay.
start in this position.
Okay.
So let's take a look and then, okay, find out what's wrong.
Okay. So were you part of the team that set the campaigns up?
No,
No. Okay. So you joined the company and these campaigns have been set up, and then they show it to you and you were like, and you did all the checks and you were
all the
like,
check.
everything is correct. And okay. And so okay, so 2 months in, at what point did you were like, okay, what was the problem? What's the thing that was not, what was the problem that even though everything was set up, what was it that was not working?
You know how it is if you start in a new company, you have to wait. So you have this starting point and you have a lot of workshops. And I'm a really impatient person. So I start to analyze. So it was
Yes.
something I hate to wait for a login. So in this time, I start to make a research and I have to make a competition research. And what I found, and it was really interesting, was we sound like them. It was like in this relative competitive landscape
Yeah.
there was nothing we stood out. So our
Okay.
ad was there, it was in good position.
Yeah.
But to be honest, if I'm a user, I didn't know why I should choose Tresorit, why not Proton, or why not Dropbox. You know, it
Right.
was
Yeah.
something like, okay, then you click on, you know how users are, they click everything or nothing.
Yeah. 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 Okay. And so it's literally was like you didn't see anything in terms of the campaign ad copy or just the USP
Yeah.
that was different. Okay. And how did your the manager when you figured out what the problem was, who did you tell first? How did you go about and like, okay, let's solve this problem? Who did you go to?
So I go to my leader, and this was at this the last year he was the CMO.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, there's a problem. We have to make it a little bit different. And I've worked with him before, so it's not the first time we worked together. So it's the second time we worked together. And he said, do whatever you want to do. I
Do what?
trust you.
Okay. That's good.
Do
That's
what
good.
you. And then I've talked to my PPC manager that we have to change some things. And I'm a really nightmare for these persons.
God, why were you a nightmare?
Because if I change something, I starting completely from scratch. So there's no
Okay.
optimization on the existing campaigns. We have started from scratch,
Okay. All
really
right.
from scratch, completely new. And then to see what happens. And you know, PPC mental love is something it works, and then they don't want to change it because it works. It works. It's
Yeah.
mostly the answer. It's okay. It works.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it works, and so you're literally like, we need to start this from the whole scratch and go to the beginning. And what was the difference with this campaign now?
What we have done a completely new messaging.
Mm-hmm.
We have find our anti-ICPs. This is really important. The most people search only about ICPs and personas, and we also use the anti-personas and anti-ICPs. This person we really don't want to have on our product.
Yeah.
So this was really important for the messaging and
Yeah.
creatives.
Yeah.
Then we have tested different creatives. We have done a lot more localization
Yeah.
so for the country specific, because this was something that was a little bit missing in the account, that you do more for special countries, a special LP, for example, special graphics, creatives, and another net. And this is what we have changed. And of course, we have test from the beginning direct. If you make a campaign from scratch, it's much easier to test things. Then you can
Yeah.
make different ad versions, different landing pages. For America, I had an A and a B version from the beginning to see
Yeah.
what works better.
Yeah.
And it's much easier if you start a campaign as you go and optimize it from an existing one.
Yeah.
So the algorithm has to go with this new things you have changed.
Yeah.
And yes, we have make it completely in another direction and
Yeah.
completely new. It was
Okay.
hard. We also have make it with Microsoft
Okay.
ads, not only on Google ads.
Yeah.
And by Microsoft ads, you have this new campaign types like audience, campaign ads, and you can use the LinkedIn integration and
Yeah.
some things. It's such a great platform.
Yeah.
And the most people make this upload from Google Ads to Microsoft Ads.
Mm. Mm.
We don't do it anymore. We have done it from scratch again.
Right.
And we only optimize for this platform too. And it has made such an impact.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Amazing. Um, Veronica, I want to do something different, and I'm
hmm
actually have to edit this episode a little bit weird because as I'm hearing your story, what I'm actually hearing is that this wasn't technically your mistake.
No,
No.
not technically.
Is it okay for us to actually hear something that it was your mistake from like
yes.
maybe earlier in your career? Maybe a bidding that went wrong, a copy that you put up that was the wrong timing, maybe you set up the wrong ad scheduling, and that messed things up, but you saw the mistake or someone pointed out the mistake and you were able to fix it. And even the good and the bad of it, or what happened that you're not happy with, but you learned from it in your next role, that kind of thing. Do you have like an example like that?
Yes, I have an example like that that was very at the beginning of my career.
Yeah.
And you know, you have this recommendation from your CPA could be better if you use this budget, for example.
Yes.
Please use this CPA. And what I have done is to use the CPA, but didn't make a higher budget. And what
Okay.
happens? The campaign doesn't run anymore. There was nothing
Right.
coming in, and it breaks. And it was, of course, at an Thursday and on Friday. Nobody have seen it. Me either. And then it runs over the weekend, and then on Monday I got the call. Something went wrong with the campaign, and I said, "What?"
Oh
Yeah.
no, you know what? That is a spicy one. That is 100%. I apologize. That is a spicy one. I'd love us to take us through. I apologize. I feel it's one of those stories where people are like, it happened and I want to forget about it. I just leave it in the past. But I just
Yes.
beg us to like bring it to the forefront of this story, and then we'll forget about it again. After you talking about it here, that's it. We'll put it in, bury it. We'll go into part.
It was the
But yeah,
craziest. Yes.
so
So
yes, tell us about that. So you have put the CPA up, but you hadn't matched it with the budget. So this was like putting a bid strategy of like a target CPA bid strategy.
yeah.
Yeah. And like, so like, how long ago was this? Was this where was it at a time where bid strategy was very common, or it was still at early stage of bid strategy? Because I know there was a time where of like manual
Yeah,
CPA. You've been in the industry for a long time, so you must have been in at the time where we've been in the same. I can't even call you old. If I'm calling you old, I'll call myself old. So we are young and
we
spry, like we just know this stuff very well, right?
yeah. Yes, but it's true. It was in these times where the switch was coming. So where you
Yeah,
have this from manual PPC and then it goes more to the automatic PPC strategy. So it was in this changing time, I would say, but it
yeah,
was I didn't thought about it. It was so clear. So at the moment,
yeah,
it's totally clear. You get this recommendation. They say you have to uplift your budget if you want to reach this one. It was like I
yeah.
didn't think about it. I said, "Oh, yes, this sounds great. Click on it." But it was so worst. Oh, and we had this call. Yeah, it was. And I
No,
said,
yes.
"My
So
fault. Sorry." I
yeah,
said, "I've
yeah.
done this, this, this." And I said, I'm really sorry about it.
So
And then it was okay. So,
yeah, so Monday came in. Who found the issue? The clients.
of course, the CPO
Okay, who's the CPO? What's a CPO?
is the chief product officer of the
Okay,
company.
of the company. And were you agency side or client side? You were in house.
I was freelance at this time,
Oh, you
and
were a
I have
freelancer.
take care
Wow.
of this accounts in this time. So it
Yes.
was the freaking time in my
Oh my
life.
God, yeah, you're freelancing, and so you were like, you really needed this job, really needed this client to be
I
happy.
needed the money, yes.
Oh, bless you. And so, like, when they told you that the revenue had gone down, did you know? When they told you that, oh, we have the volume has gone down, did it make sense to you? Did you connect straight away? Oh, it's because of the CPA that I did that, or did you have
Yeah,
to do some digging first?
no, it was something. It was like if he told me it's going down, it was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
got it on my mind. I said, oh my god, okay,
yeah. So you knew exactly where to go to fix that problem.
yes, this was the good
Okay,
thing. It wasn't
that's good.
easy.
All right, so that's easy. And so did they? How annoyed were they? Did that annoyance last, or they were like, okay, you fixed it, moving on, or how did that process go?
At the beginning, he was really angry, to be honest, and of course, it was a discussion. But then he said, my reaction was really honest. So it
Yeah,
was this, okay, it was my fault. Sorry, I've done something wrong. I will fix it. And yes, I apologize. So, and then from his side, it was okay. So he said this reaction. If I had said, oh, I don't know what to do, and it's these things can happen, then, but it was straight away like, oh my God.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, it's we've said this so many times. I'm not even going to belabor it. I'm just going to quickly pass by. It's about the fact that honesty, coming out with honestly, like you did the thing, admitting your fault, is not going to be the end of the world. You're actually going to impress with that. But like based on that story, so based on that like CPA, what do you do differently? What did you look at and be like, okay, wow, this is something that I won't ever do again? What's that thing that you're not going to do again?
um, I go over the whole recommendation and read the whole story behind it, to be honest, if there's a recommendation. And yes, I will not change direct things. I tested before.
Yeah.
So if I change things, this was a learning effect as I started to test things before I changed the whole campaign, to be honest. Yeah.
Implemented the whole
So
thing. That was a recommendation. So, look at those recommendations very well. I mean, and this was one of those like early days Google recommendations, right? So it was something
yes.
that Google, yeah, I think, you know what, we can 100% forgive you. This was the early days where you thought that Google was on your side. I think the more we've been in the industry, we've all, it's rampant. Everybody goes, that auto apply recommendations. Be careful. Don't auto apply recommendations. You don't know. The main thing Google is trying to go for is stuff that will actually make them revenue, not actually what's going to be good for you. So always be careful in that respect. Yeah, look at those recommendations and really, really think whether it's a recommendation that's going to work for your client. We're not saying totally ignore it,
No,
but look at it carefully
read
before
the
you
whole
implement.
story. Yes. Read the whole story.
Great told
And
story.
there are a few helpful things they can help you, but yeah.
Read the whole story.
Mm.
Um, And so now, like, because, we started off you talking about, you came in with Tresserate and you saw this account that was not working at all and you had to change everything. Now, going to that one specific mistake and that kind of stuff. And, you've come a long way from being the person who makes a mistake, the person who spots a mistake, straight away. And, like, what would you say? What is a process or a mindset that helps you, like, you know, not be too scared, not be too, apprehensive when you see a mistake has happened at all? Because I imagine the fact that you knew you had made a mistake helped you with that whole account and being able to see it and not to be too, because you were the senior person there was a PPC manager, and you must have taken it a lot easier on them because so what is your advice to people like managers, heads of departments, when their team makes a mistake, how to approach it?
To be honest, we are all are humans and we all does mistakes. So it's a sign that they work on it. So I
Yeah.
see it as a positive thing.
Okay.
So mistakes can only happen if people work on something.
Yes.
Do you want people in your team they don't work?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And why
this
is
is
it?
something.
Yeah, and why is it? Because there's a whole. Okay, we know mistakes happen, but
Mm.
then there are people who never talk about it. Why is it even important that we hear the stories about mistakes happening?
It is important because for other persons too, that they don't run into the same problems. If you talk about your failures or your mistakes or why you do things, then you help other people. You can uplift other people and you can be the one who is this person to start with these conversations. So I do a lot of mentoring
Yes.
and I have this conversation so many times that people are scared. And if I start, okay, this happened to me too, then it's like, what? This happened to you too? And I said, yes, it happened. And it happened this way, and then explain what happened. And then it's easier for the person to understand, okay, this is not a failure. So the
Yeah.
most people think if they do a mistake, it's a personal thing. It's like, oh my God, it's me. And if other people knows this, then they don't like me or they think I'm not good enough in my job or something like this. But no,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can only be good if you fail because then you have to stand up and work again. And where I am right now is because I failed a lot in the past, so
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that statement. That might be the heading of our title. Like, unless I don't know, Claude gives me a better option. You can only be good when you fail. That is just really people need to hear more of that. You can only be good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I actually think only. I think people are like, oh no, 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 I can get away if I'm very careful, and I'll never get anything wrong.
Yeah, and I don't believe this person, to be honest, because if I hear, "What? Such things never happened to me," it's like, "What?
Really, then you've not
Really?"
tested
And then
enough.
I don't trust this person.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
something, and be honest, and it happens. It's not, come on, it happens.
Yeah, yeah, we like that. And I think it's even with our world of AI. Somebody actually pointed out about how um we are you're gonna capture your audience's attention with minor imperfections, spelling mistakes.
Mm.
It gets people to be like, oh, that's a human being. That's a human being who made an honest mistake, because we know that's what human beings do. You get AI to make everything perfect and everything on point. Yeah, it's going to look perfect, but people are going to be bored of that. It's going to be boring.
And this is true.
Everything just always just perfectly looking all the time. That's not going to be eye catching. It's the random thing that, you don't see, that you don't know. Yeah.
And we have run an A/B test with this point. It's really important. We have make an landing page with no spellings, no grammar issues. Everything was work really well.
Yeah.
And then we have done another LP with little small things that happen
Yeah.
if you write a missing character or something like this, and you will laugh. This one has performed better than the other one.
Wow.
This is a
Wow.
really interesting thing, and it's the same with social media posts. All the
Yes.
companies think we have to make brandings there. They have to be the logo, and we have to make graphics really, really high performing, good, fancy things. what performs, the short smartphone videos, the short screenshots, these true things you can show.
Yeah.
And yes, and this is missed in an AI world. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it will come back that
Yeah. Yeah.
we
I'm sure
love
it
more
will.
human content and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, look, we've answered several of those questions. You've given us, that really lovely story, given us a deep dive into like, yeah, why. In fact, I usually even ask if someone is currently going in the middle to currently have made that same mistake, what will your advice be to them? But I think you've pretty much said it with the whole, know that everybody makes mistakes. You mentor people and you tell them that, you're only good by from the failures that you've made. But like, if we just wanted to leave, because we're gonna go on to now talking about mistakes that you've seen other people
Mm.
make. But before we go into that, if we were gonna leave people with one last how people should face mistakes, one last thing about the story about mistakes, what's one last thing you want to leave people with?
Don't try to be perfect and don't listen to too many voices. So sometimes your gut feeling is the right feeling.
Yeah.
Test it out, and if it doesn't work, then you make it on your list. It hasn't worked, and try another thing. But I think the most people should more think about they have the right direction mostly in it, but they are scared to do it because other person said, no, this is not the right way, but you can't know
No.
it. It could be the right way.
Yeah.
If nobody tests it, you
Yeah.
will never know.
No. No. You never know. Absolutely. Don't try to be perfect. Perfection
No.
is not a thing. Okay, fantastic. Now, going to now we can put that story to bed. We can we can get over the PTSD. The PTSD is back in a fat in a box. Let's go on to seeing, sharing your expertise with us and the mistakes that you've seen other maybe advertisers or even from audits of accounts that you've seen, or like just
Mm.
random mistakes that you've noticed that people are making that you're like, wow, how are people still making those mistakes? What anything that
This is mostly the tracking, to be honest.
okay. All right.
It's mostly if I take a look on the tracking side, it's so crazy.
How it's
So
still wrong.
can't believe why.
How but what are the tracking issues usually? Is it just like what they're making the goals to be, or
The
yeah,
goals, then
yeah.
they do a lot of micro conversions sometimes
Okay.
because they think they have to. So sometimes it makes sense, sometimes not. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Then the implementation is wrong. This is often. And you know how important it is if the people use smart bidding that you have the right implementation. And so before as I started, in these times it was not really important, yes, with the
Sure.
manual CPC,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything was
Yeah.
okay. But now it's really important to have the right setup. And the most issues I see it's in the Google Tag Manager. You know, I coming from SEO, so I also make my tracking by my own. And
Yes.
if you take a look, implementation on the ad side and then on the Tag Manager side, it's like it's the cruel version. And if you have a website migration, people forget sometimes that they have to adapt the conversion tracking too if you
Mm.
migrate the sites, and then you have a completely dismiss. So it's
Well,
crazy. So this is what I often see, and what I don't like, to be honest, is this crazy if an account is not structured. If you
yeah.
go an account and there's no structure in it, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or if you if you analyze an account and there's only brand campaigns,
Yeah.
it's something I close directly this account and I need to breathe some time, a little bit
Yeah.
longer, and then I go back to the client. What
Yeah.
fuck are you doing?
Oh my
You
gosh.
know, it's like,
Oh, we're gonna
oh,
have to put an explicit
yeah,
sign
yeah.
on this podcast episode because that really pissed Veronica off. Let's Jesus. Okay, okay. We do not like brand only, accounts. No. Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting any incremental revenue. I don't think people do that. Like, understand that. Yeah, we understand that brand is going to come for you at a very low CPC, low, cost per acquisition or kind of thing, high return on investment, but you're not getting anything incremental. And even like when you do brand, I don't necessarily even think that brand works so well on PPC as it would like on display, paid social, that kind of thing, because you
Yes.
can show more of your brand. Because when it comes to brand, it's not, when people search for your brand, they want an experience. They're not just wanting text message that, and unless you're an amazing writer, copywriter, I think there are not enough good copywriters that go into paid search. You go into paid search because you're like, you know how to do Google ads well, and you know the technicalities of bid strategy, and you need to put an ad copy, and you need about testing. They're not necessarily, we're not, and this is coming from someone who is a paid search practitioner. I used to be a paid search practitioner. I'm not the best writer. So, trying to do branding when you can't bring the brand alive in PPC, I think it's such a waste. Such a waste to do it just there, or even to do it and to be like, that's the only thing running on paid search brand. Do it in the whole, like, you need to do with the generic and other stuff. So yeah, sorry, I didn't even realize how I felt so passionately about that. But I think that's a point I've never made before that we really need to think about.
Yes. And it does a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How about mistakes when it comes to AI? We can't miss out the whole AI mess that everyone think that they knows how to do the job very well.
What the people doing is they analyze their accounts in PPC. So they put in the data and then they make an analyze. What they forget is if you put in average data, then you get an average answer. So what happens if you don't have an standout account? You have only an analysis or ideas from an average position.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
AI can't fix this problem.
No.
So you have to find out what can you optimize to do it better.
Yeah.
And this is something you have to find out. Then maybe you can ask AI how to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe it can help you support there. But a lot of people say they don't need a PPC manager anymore. They put all the data in AI and then they analyze the account and everything is fine. But this is something you will never stand out. And then you have the problem I've mentioned before. You have a good campaign maybe with no
Mm.
revenue.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Like, yeah. And that's that whole average thing. That is, hit the nail on the head. And a friend of ours, a shout out to Johan Ferrand, who is great supporter of PPC Live, comes to all our events. And, and he was like, look, yeah, AI has made the bad marketer to be average. And I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, but is that really what we're selling? Is that what we're selling to clients? When you pitch, when we go into that pitch and we've got a brand saying that, oh, different agency, is the agency who wins the one that goes, hey, we're all average. Well,
Now,
average, and that's what you want. Is that really the people that win the accounts? And that's the annoying thing. You get a lot of people who are literally now, oh yeah, I've got a whole AI setup, an AI. I spend millions of dollars a day because they're all on an AI setup. Because you've got thousands of accounts that are average and are doing average stuff. And if the client knew that, they'd be pissed, in my opinion, is what I think. They'd
I
be
would be
pissed.
pissed. I would be
Yes.
pissed, yes. So yes, stand out. That's the most important thing is
Yeah.
stand out. And you can only stand out if you use your human mind. And
Yeah.
this is something what the people forget in their AI age.
Yeah.
And they think they are a good PPC manager if they put the data into an AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
They aren't.
No, no. I mean, there's so much that the AI is doing well, making us faster, but
Yes, I
and
use it
something that,
too. Mm.
yeah, but it's something that is coming a lot more and more out, which I don't know. We're just saying it in so many different ways. It's a tool. It's a tool the same way that Google Ads has been a tool. It's the same way like you see all these like like marine software, the like DSA studio, all these kind of stuff like Athena, the competitive tool, this thing tool. AI is just another one of those. There's so many tools.
Yes.
And when you just leave the tool to do whatever, it's rubbish. But when you then make the tool to make you faster, that's when the best work comes out. And I just think it's very important that we pay attention to the fact that these are tools that we need to
It should help you,
direct.
support
Yes.
you, but you have to give the right insights to this tool. This is
Yeah.
also a messy.
Yeah.
More, if you think one sentence is enough, then shit in, shit out.
Right? Yes, absolutely. The oldest saying is garbage in, garbage out. GIGO.
Yes,
I know.
I'm a
But
German.
I love your more
I'm a
expressive version.
German.
Yeah, yours gets the point across clearly. Lot sharper. Shit.
We are
Oh,
just
I love it.
direct persons, so
Direct. I
at this
love it.
point,
This has been so great. This has been so great. Um, so like how do you also do you have any advice for people on spotting their mistakes? Because these kind of mistakes, I feel that sometimes, when we were like we're in this new era of like, yeah, we wanted the AI tool, we want to use it, but we don't want it to take over everything. But we need to be able to spot them well and but actually still use them and not be all like, because you're not banning, you're not saying that, oh no, AI is all shit, we shouldn't
no,
use
no,
AI.
no, no, no.
But how do you notice what do we need to be doing to make sure that we notice those mistakes quicker?
I think we should get to try to understand how these tools work. So, and this is the most mistake that people does. They use things,
Education.
education, to understand how the system works, what the system needs to works for you perfect, and what have you to do on your side to
Mm,
make them work better. They are great tools to find mistakes on your account if you teach them the right way.
yeah.
But they have to know what you want. And humans are humans, you know. If you
Yeah.
talk to other people, we always think the people has to read between our lines or
Yeah.
read our head, and we does the same with AI.
Yeah.
So we think they should know what we want. No, they don't know it. So
Yeah.
make it clear, make it accurate, say what you want, and think about if you use these tools, it's like you send a briefing to a designer or to a
Mm,
content team, to
mm,
other human, and make it specific.
yeah.
And yes, and check it, of course. Ask
Double
for
check.
resources.
Yeah.
And always put in your prompts, please don't hallucinate, please don't fill the gaps, please don't interpret
Yeah.
data,
Yeah.
please only use real resources you found, and please show these resources.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what? On this note, I was going to bring this near the end, but I actually feel this is a good time. I was going to do this in the introduction. I apologize. I missed it. But you've got a great book that teaches us how to do this, right? Please show us your book. And literally, look, yeah, it's called The Search Singularity: Winning in the New Game of Search. And give us a little bit about what this book is about.
It's about the digital marketing messy middle, and it's about PPC, SEO, social and content, and analytics works together. It's a little bit sarcastic, like I am, so it's a direct book. You will read it, but it gives frameworks and practical advices to go with this new area and find the calmness in this
Yes,
really, really,
the
really
chaos.
chaos. Yes. So
Yes.
it's a little bit, and a few laughters are in there. So
Oh, I'm glad. I think a lot of marketing books is very like, okay, do this. If you're not doing this well, and this is how you need to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay, go. And you're like, okay. And yeah, I need someone that's got something that's going to make me smile. So yeah, can people find it on Amazon?
yes, on
Yes, the Amazon.
Amazon.
It's called The Search Singularity.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. And we even wrote a blog about it so that people, get the link. So we're gonna put all the show notes, put all those links in the show notes for people to read that. Look, yeah, Veronica, that has been such a great chat. Just so interesting. As you describe in your book, you're sarcastic, you making people laugh, and you've made me laugh. So a lot on here. So thank you. Thank you for that, for sharing
thank
your
you.
experience and about how we really need to be on top of all these AI tools, how we need to be on top of mistakes, how we shouldn't be scared about the mistakes that we might make, and it's not about being perfect. All the things that we really need to be hearing right now. So yeah, but finally, before we let you go, if your PPC career were a movie, what would your title be?
And
What would the
Fast and
title be?
Furious. Yes, Fast and
Faster.
Furious.
Tell us a
But
bit more. Why do you feel like your career has been fast and furious?
because of all this crazy
Yeah.
stages I had. So yes, agency side, in-house, freelance, teacher, Yes, I'm
Yeah.
becoming a teacher, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And from nobody knows my name to you go to a conference and so many people comes to you. I follow you. I like you. Can I have a screen? Can I have a selfie or something like this?
Selfie.
It's so
Oh.
crazy. It's like
Oh.
okay, okay,
Oh,
and then yeah.
bless. Oh, that is so nice. So yeah, Fast and Furious, doing so many things with the career that it reminds me like when I was in the previous episode and I asked one of the guests and the guest turned around and I know what will it be for you? I was like, oh, and mine was like Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge is this amazing because, but it's almost like the same thing. When you watch Moulin Rouge, it's amazing. So many colors. I love
Mm,
the red and the rouge, obviously, of it all, but it's also chaotic. It's such a
it is.
chaotic movie where some of the scenes, a lot of things are happening at the same time. And I'm like, and I feel that's how with me because yeah, I've done working with agencies and brands and tech tools and doing freelance contracting, working for an American company, working with a publisher now, doing a podcast, running events, and my brain is like, why? Why? Like, what is going happening there? But anyway, we kind of you make it work, and yeah, it's a lovely industry to be in because there's so many kind people, so many people who are
Yes,
like who want to learn, who want to grow, and I'm hoping that is the people we have listening to our podcast because that's what we want: people to grow, people to learn, and people to do things better with integrity in our industry. So if people want to be your fans and so that they can follow you online, where can they find you?
LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, LinkedIn is our trusted source, which is why most of the time, 99% of my promo is on LinkedIn. Our last event, I didn't even do any promo on Instagram because I was like, oh
No,
my God, our PPC people on Instagram, so I did everything on LinkedIn. So yeah, we're gonna share Veronica's LinkedIn profile as well, so that you could hear about any next of the events that she's gonna be at. I mean, and we're and events based on the event. So what's the next event that you're going to, Veronica?
well, it's a German event. It's Campix. There are also some international speakers there. There's also
Okay.
an English stage, but I will
Okay.
speak in my mother language.
Oh,
So
nice. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, that is good to hear. I'm hoping any of your fans who are your the German fan listening to this, they check that event out. We'll put the link to that event. So anyone who's in Germany that wants to hear Veronica talk, yeah, definitely go check her out. But for now, thank you so much, Veronica, for being on this podcast, on this episode. And yeah, we'll catch up again soon, I'm sure.
yes, bye. Thank
Hey,
you for the invitation.
my pleasure. Thank you so much, Veronica, for sharing that very honest and transparent experience about something that you dug deep from, way back in your career. Cause yeah, that's when like the juiciest of mistakes happen, really, at the beginning of our career. Yeah. For anyone that was listening, I hope we really picked up on the fact that this industry is not about being perfect. It's not about getting everything right, but about being honest and, making the big mistakes and, cause that's where the biggest learnings are. So yeah, for all the information, the full transcript, show notes, the resources, the, link to buy a book, the link to all of Veronica's amazing articles, yeah, just go to podcast.ppc.live and you'll be able to get all those details by, depending on where you're listening to this, searching for her name, or it will probably be the first episode that you see on our episode list page. So yeah, for in terms of PPC Live events, we're having a fantastic summer party on July the 29th, especially after the roaring success of our Brighton event last week, Wednesday. That was just such a great event to be at. But yeah, just go to ppc.live to get more information about when our next event is coming out, what fantastic surprises that we have for you. Tickets will go live very soon, especially, usually with our early bird ticket sale, and then it'll go to a higher price after several weeks. But on the last week, on the week of the event itself, it will go a bit higher as well. So yeah, please don't leave it till last minute unless you'll be paying a higher price. So yeah, I'm hoping that's that encourages you to buy a ticket early. We're gonna have a summer party. It's gonna be starting at 1:30 p.m. this time. We're gonna have 4 speakers and we're gonna have a beer party, a beer garden party right afterwards from 5 p.m. because July is going to be, the sun is still going to be out at 5 p.m. I don't want to keep everyone all stuck inside. So I want us to really enjoy, have a great PPC chat in a very nice and open, friendly and sunny environment, which we'll all do for sure. So yeah, just check out ppc.live for, latest, price drops, and then to ensure that you get the cheapest price for what's going to be the best PPC summer event for sure. Before I leave you, I am also delighted to share that I am taking on coaching and mentoring clients. So yeah, if you just need help in terms of building up your confidence and building up the confidence to ask for that promotion, ask for that pay rise, go for that job that you're not sure that you're qualified for, let's get in touch with me. Let's discuss it and see how I can help you, believe in yourself, because that's really all it takes, really. So yeah, if you go to themarketinganu.com, you'll be able to book a 15-minute free discovery call so that we can talk further about that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I look forward to bringing more PPC F-ups and triumphs next week. Thank you. Bye.